Okay, so we are in Design Space. Design Space has gone from being web-based when you're on the computer to being a desktop version, which I know a lot of people were asking for. It has helped stability a little bit, so that's been nice. But what we're going to do is we're going to start over here with New Project. Maybe. Here we go. And we're going to upload the file for our sign piece, which I do actually have them out here already. However, I will show you what it is we're trying to do here. So you would go to Upload Image. You would then browse to wherever it is that you have your image saved. So in this case, we're going to go right here to August Sand Pail. And it's going to show you the file. So here's our file. It's going to come in with the name of the file. It's always helpful to add some other tags and things just because you're able to search for those tags that you put on an image when you're in Design Space if you want it later on, like you're uploading it now so that it's out there but you're not actually using it yet. And then you click Save. So we're going to do Insert Image. And these will come into Design Space at the exact size that they need to be cut for your little wood pieces to mat those wood pieces. So all of these pieces, with the exception of the sign itself, are small enough to cut with the Cricut Joy, which is what we're going to use to cut this one today. The only one out of the pieces I've got here that is not small enough to cut with the Joy is going to be the globe, and then the May birdhouse, for whatever reason, is just barely too wide to go on the mat for the Cricut Joy. But that's just fine. We're going to go ahead and use these. What I'm going to do, however, because we are cutting this with the Joy, if you wanted to, and I would suggest doing this anyway, see how they come in and you try to click on any one piece and they're all attached together. These are grouped images. What you want to do is come up here in this upper right hand corner and click Ungroup. And what that's going to do is it's going to free these images up so that you can move them around. So this is 5 by 7. That's too big to cut with the Joy. Excuse me. So we're going to hide it. And you'll see here before I hide this, see how there's this little orange triangle here? It's because it's giving us a warning that it's too big to fit on the mat for the Cricut Joy, which is fine. Where this is just a basic rectangle, we can cut this with a paper trimmer. We're going to end up using a 4 by 6 cut apart on here as well, so we really don't need to cut this one. So I'm going to go ahead and hide that. Now then, for the rest of our pieces, because they are all the same color, when we go to make this, it's going to put all of them on the same mat. If you're an advanced user, that's fine. You'll know how to drag these around on the mat once we go to cut, and not, have to cut everything out of the same color. However, if you want to make it easier on yourself, you can change the color of any of these images. When you go to make your project with Design Space with Cricut, it will sort these things out into the color that the projects are, or I'm sorry, the pieces are. So just so you can see what I'm talking about, if we leave everything as is and we click Make It, we're going to cut everything on the mat. And we do have the longer mat. So see, it would cut all of those things on one mat because they're all the same color. But you're not going to want to cut these out of the same color. So we're going to cancel. And we're going to change the color of all of these little pieces and parts. So we're going to cut this one out of brown. And actually, because this is a sand pail and we don't want the entire pail the same color as what should be like the sand up at the top here. I'm actually going to duplicate this, and I'm going to cut it a second time out of another color. So let's say red. And we're going to cut the little band on the out of another. We're going to cut the handle out of the same red, and this is another thing too. So we click on this, we go to cut this. Well, we want this piece the same color as this piece up here. Well, it tells you up here what colors you've already selected, so you can very easily select that same color so that both of these pieces would cut on the same mat. And we're going to cut that out of blue, we'll just say, and that's ready to go. So now when we click Make It, we're going to do it on a mat. It's going to separate those into mats for every color that we picked. Pretty cool, right? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get these cut, and then we'll go over how to assemble these. All right, so we're ready to start cutting this out. So I have my Cricut Joy here ready to go. I am using leftovers from a design team kit from the summer. So this is the last few pieces I had with my Simple Stories Sunshine and Blue Skies paper. So let me get on here and get this ready to go. So it is getting connected to my Joy right now. I'm going to go ahead and get my first mat ready. So I have trimmed my paper down to 4.5 inches wide so that it will it's just going to check that material for me. And then I'm going to click go. And I do actually need to find a couple more scraps. Just a second. All right, so it is finished with our first piece. That's how fast this thing cuts. I swear it actually cuts faster than the maker. Okay, so my next piece is going to be, look at that. I actually need to cut this one down. Okay. And what's fun about these little foundation decor pieces is my mats in their Cricuts. Let me try that again. I'm actually going to get that in there. Come on. There we go. Okay. There we go. It just was taking its time. The nice thing about these little Foundations decor pieces is really you can use, if you've got like one cut apart left from a collection that you want to use on one of these and then use the rest with like just solid cardstock, you can. In fact, what would be really nice with these is those new Cartabella polka dot papers that Tammy was showing the other day. on the live would be great for these. All right, so the next one is going to be part of our sand pail. And since the sand pail, notice how it really just kind of, you know, I mean, it has this piece that's supposed to kind of differentiate between where our sand is and where our pail is, but I don't want them all the same color. What we're going to do is use this as a guide, and we're going to trim our bucket from our sand. So let's go ahead and cut this one while I get my sand. Which really, I guess we could leave that just the way it is, but I don't want to do that either, so. Unload that. That's how easy that is. And we're on our last little piece here. And we can start putting this together. All right. So for the pieces for Foundations Decor, so they're all in here together and they're all kind of stuck together. All you're going to do is pull them apart and you're just going to get that little glue dot off the back here. Okay. Okay, so this is our big piece that goes on the top part of our sign, and that's the piece we're going to do just with the paper trimmer. All right, so we are finished with that. Move him out of the way. And you can see, so like here's our little shovel. Those pieces cut and fit perfectly on top. Now, if you don't have an electronic cutter, you can still do these. And what I would suggest doing would be, so let me get this piece, I'll show you. There's two ways to do it. And depending on which way I feel like messing around with, if I don't have a file, kind of determines how I want to do this. So let's say we wanted this kind of turquoise to be on the top. What I would do is put it on the back side of whatever paper I'm using and then just trace it. And cut it out. Or the other thing I've done is I've gone ahead and I've glued so that whatever paper I wanted on top, say I wanted this turquoise on top, I would glue this to the back. I would just kind of cut as close as I could with scissors and then just turn it over face down and take a craft knife and go along it that way to cut out the rest of those pieces. But because this one we have the SVG file for, we don't have to do that. Let me put my cover back on my mat there so I don't get it messed up. So in your little package of pieces for your welcome sign, you're going to have all your little wood pieces and then you're going to have two magnets. Okay? One magnet's going to go on the back of our pail, one's going to go on the back of our sign. I'm going to set those aside for now because my sign actually is slightly warped. Mine did not come from Tammy. I actually won it. And I have to be very careful how I put my magnets on there. Okay, so what I want to do here, because I want the sand to be a different color than my pail. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to line this up about where I want it on here. And I'm going to cut with my craft knife very carefully along here. And I didn't quite get all the way through. So then I'm going to take, because I can see where my knife didn't quite make it. trim this the rest of the way off. And really, this doesn't have to be exact because we can always position this so it just barely covers the top of that when we put it down on here. So I've got my little sand piece, which really isn't a whole lot different from the raw wood. You could paint this if you wanted to before you put anything on it. I've done that with some. Quite honestly, I think it like quadruples the time it takes to do these, when literally you can do one of these, get like the whole set put together in about 10 minutes. So I am just using my art glitter glue, and I am going to just put that piece, line it up. It will line up perfectly on top there. And I'm going to push it down, and I'm going to find my, I have a little matte scraper to kind of burnish this down with, but I can't find it. No big deal. Okay, so then we're going to put our other piece on here that we created so that we have a distinction between the sand and the pail. And that's just my preference. If you didn't want to do it that way, you don't have to at all. I just thought that would be cute. Oops. All right. All right, so there's our first piece. This is going to go right on top of here. Actually, let me turn it the right way, that would help. It's going to go on top of here like so. If we had a different color, so like say, because this does have kind of a shimmer to it, we don't want that shimmer, I just flip it over. And that's exactly how I'm going to do it, because I really don't want that little shimmery piece on here. Oops. And we're going to glue that piece right on top of there. And then we're going to glue this piece on top of our bucket. Now remember, it hangs off just ever so slightly on the edges, so we're not going to go all the way out to the edge. And there you go. Now for our little handle, again, I don't want the, because it's supposed to go on here kind of like this. You can always flip it around the other way and it's not going to matter. And that's what we're going to do. Again, and that's just, if I'd been thinking, I would have turned my paper over so I didn't have the shimmery side up, but honestly I wasn't paying attention. But it's very easily fixable because it's not like it's words that we're dealing with that, oh, it's backwards, I have to recut this. It's not, it's just paper. It's fine. And again, we're going to put this back on here so it hangs off ever so slightly, just like a little handle would. And there's our first piece. Now our little shovel, we can do it that way. We can flip it over. We can use this other side. I think I'm going to leave it yellow. And this is just going to kind of sit on here. Well, maybe I do want to turn it over. Let's see here. Oh, I like that. That looks good. So we're going to flip it over the other direction. And again, just with the glue. Super, super simple. They're really kind of fun. When I finally got my sign out, which I won in May, I didn't actually get it out and start putting all these little pieces and things together for it until like September, October, somewhere in there. Which I think is partially why it sat funny in the box for a long time, and that's I think why it was like not quite right. All right, so now we just have to decide, where do we want our little shovel to go? Do we want it kind of standing up like that? That would be cute. Do we want it just barely on the outside edge? I think that's where I'm going to do it. So I'm going to get my glue on here. You could use hot glue if you don't think the art glitter is going to stick as well, and that would be fine too. My other ones I did with the art glitter and had absolutely no problems with them. So the art glitter, Although this one where it's just barely hanging on here, I may actually have to get the glue gun out. But we're going to try it and let it sit and dry. So for our other piece, I've got just some of my leftovers from that particular design team project. And this is 5 by 7, so I'm just going to take my paper trimmer. And I'm going to trim this down. And before I actually stick anything down permanently, I am just going to kind of dry fit it to see how I want to do this. So I'm going to put this one on here. I could use, really the stripes would be kind of cute too, if I decided to do that. And then I've got 3 different cut aparts left, so I can use Poolside Fun. I really like that one, so I think that's the one we're going to use. But since it kind of gets lost on that, I'm actually going to mat this. So this is a 4x4 cut apart, and I think I'm going to mat that with another little craft scrap as soon as I find one that's big enough. All right, and so on that, I'm going to go go 4 3/16 instead of 4 1/8. I'm going to go slightly bigger than I would normally go, just so that it doesn't get lost on our background there. Okay, I think I want one more color underneath that. So if I did it like so, yep, I think that's how I'm going to do it. All right. Okay, so we're going to have that. We're going to layer this one up like so. Oh yeah, that's much better. And then I've got some leftover stickers and some chipboard and some little ephemera pieces that we'll kind of go through here and see what else we want. So I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff layered, because then this piece, once it's all layered, we're going to pop it up on here. Okay. All right. There's one layer. And I mean, you totally could ink the edges of this or something if you wanted to. I don't want to. And like that, we'll go ahead and glue this piece down. Okay, and we're going to pop that piece up, and then we'll decide here, what have I got left? All right, so I think we're going to put him up there, and you'll notice, like, they'll have pictures on the back, and see how it's all kind of very subdued. I think these are so much cuter when you add different elements to them. Like, you know, popping up this piece, adding, you know, some other little pieces and parts that you have available with it. So see, we can put all of these things just like so. I've got stickers here. Let's see if we've got anything in the little stickers I have left that we want. No, I don't really love the pool people with that too much. I'll see, we've got all these little word stickers, so we can do some little words on here. Let's see what we've got as far as ephemera pieces. I've got a whole bunch in here. And they're just kind of here, there, and everywhere, so I apologize. So, like, we've got that little pool person. We've got that. We've got, oh, cute little bucket. We've got a pool floaty. Got some more flowers. We've got, oh, lemonade. More little pool people. I've got brads. Oh, I've got some more little chipboard pieces on the brads. Not loving those. Got some other little phrases and things. Okay, I think we're just going to go with what we've got right here. Oh, there's another chipboard piece too. Another lemon. I think that's it. All right. So I'm kind of liking it with the radio and the flowers. I love the little sunshine up there. I do like the other lemon down there. Yep, I think we're going to do it just like that. So let's slide these pieces kind of off. I'm going to grab my foam tape. And we are going to just get some foam going on the back of this. And this foam tape, actually, I found at Hobby Lobby, and I don't hate it. So, and it's reasonably priced. Not too bad of a deal. All right. Oops. So let's figure out for sure where this is going to sit. It's going to sit right there. Okay. All right, so we want that little sunshine up in that upper corner. You could pop him up another layer if you wanted to. I think I'm actually going to just glue him down right on top of that corner. Although I am going to stick one little foam square. No, maybe I don't need it. Actually, I take back, I don't need it. Okay. I'm going to stick that one down right up there. And then let's maybe go like this. I just think I need something up there to kind of break up the color. There we go. Of the background. Oh yeah, that's great. Let's do it that way. Okay. So let's glue him down first. And in case you're wondering, this is literally how I go through and decorate my books, which is why I don't usually record the decorating of my books, because it usually takes me almost as long to mat and decorate as it does for me to design and build. Sometimes longer. All right, so then we want our little swimsuit thing down first. Maybe, sort of. Okay, so this one's going to go about right there. That one's going to come here. We're going to pop, actually we're going to pop both of those up. Just because I know this will not stay down. We are going to glue it. Okay. We're going to glue him down there. And now we want our foam squares. Okay, and then our flower. Okay, so then that one's going to come up, whoops, you can turn the right way, about right there. So I do need a couple more on the one side on the back. All right, and then let's use him. I'm actually going to pop him up too. All right, so let's see here. Let's see if I like, oh yeah, let's just find some of just a couple of these that we can kind of just stick up here on the top. Okay, so here's our upper piece, here's our lower piece. What would actually be really cute on this, and I think I'm going to do it, is just get a paper towel ready because it's going to be messy. All right, so I think I'm going to do, just to make this look a little more, I'm going to take some stickles and then I am going to spread it. If you have Wink of Stella, that would probably work just as well, if not better. I don't have any of that. Let me get a little bit more right there. I got a little carried away getting it kind of spread and ended up wiping it off. All right, there we go. There is our little set, summer set to go on our welcome sign. So let me get this cleaned up. I have one more piece, one more little project like this that I'm going to show you, but I do need to get it cut out. It is one that's going to be too big to cut with the Joy. I'm going to have to cut it on the normal Cricut. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out, and then I will come back and show you how to put it together and what it looks like. Okay, so this was the other piece that I was doing. This one clearly is too big to go with the Joy. I did cut this one with the maker. This is new. I don't think it's in the store yet. I was literally just up at Tammy's
And we talked about this, so if it's not in the store immediately, it should be by the end of the weekend at the very latest. But this sits in this cute little stand, like so. I know there's some other pieces you can get that will sit in here. I don't know if Tammy has the other ones or not. But the little globe comes with some little tiles that spell out, just go, which I love. So those are the ones I'm actually going to just sit down on here. You could paint this base if you wanted to. I think I'm going to leave it. I'm not really sure. But they're so fun and they're so different and they're such a cute project and they're so easy to do. Even if you don't have the files, even if you don't have a cutting machine, they're still easy to do. And because I was just up there, this was actually why I went up to Tammy's, to the actual warehouse for Country Craft Creations today, because I wanted to pick up my calendar. I'm so excited. As soon as she showed this the first time, I was so excited. I could not wait to get my hands on this. It is a magnetic perpetual calendar. It comes with all the different days, of the month. It has the different little icons for the different holidays. So for like a birthday, Valentine's, St. Patrick's, Easter, little summer. Actually, that's probably Mother's Day, I would assume. Father's Day, 4th of July, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. It's so cute. And she also has, which I did not buy them, but the little insert pieces that you see in the picture here. So there for each month, there's a piece that would be magnetized. I suddenly cannot talk. That will go up in the top with the name of the month. And then there's just some little icon pieces that go down on the bottom. I didn't buy those because I kind of want to make my own. So I will end up doing that. Once I have those done, I will post some pictures of it, but I'm not going to do a tutorial. What I will do is, depending on which fonts I end up using, I may link whatever I set up into Design Space and give you guys the link. But Tammy had a really great idea about putting like a Post-it notepad down in the center section, which I thought was a fabulous idea. And I have to figure out where I'm going to hang this. I think it's going to end up in my kitchen, but I also kind of want it in my craft room. So I have to decide where it's actually going to end up living. But it's so cute, and I'm so glad I was able to go pick this up today. And then it's got like the blank tiles so you can fill in for the different days of the month when you need to, and so on. But yeah, so there it is. It's just adorable. Here is our little globe that I did, and then here's our other little pieces for the welcome sign. And like I said, these are so easy to do and so fun, and I hope to see you guys pick some of these up from Country Craft Creations and decorate them yourselves. Thanks!